I was 18 years old when it all began. I had just graduated from high school. For me, it was the beginning of a new life, a horizon filled with hope. I lived alone with my mother, a courageous 53-year-old woman who worked as a medical assistant in a hospital in Kinshasa. She had to raise me alone ever since my father left us when I was only 4 years old. My mother was a deeply religious woman, a practicing Catholic, always moving from one mass to another, from one prayer to the next, or some parish activity. In our home, everything breathed faith: a crucifix above the living room, pictures of saints on the walls, a Bible always open. I never really shared that religious enthusiasm. As a child, I followed my mother to church out of obedience, but as I grew older, my convictions faded. I felt like I finally had the right to choose my own path. I preferred spending my Sundays reading, wandering around, or meeting my friends. To my mother, that distance wasn't anything but rebellion. According to her, I drifted away from God because I didn't yet understand His value. And in her mind, the solution was obvious: placing me under the spiritual guidance of a man of God. One Sunday after Mass, she took me to the priest's office. He was a man in his 40s, with a deep yet reassuring voice, always smiling gently. He welcomed me warmly. My mother begged him to help me, to bring me back to God, complaining about my stubbornness and disobedience. He listened with almost too perfect patience, nodding as she spoke, placing his hand on my shoulder with a fatherly air. He suggested that I join the youth group. Twice a week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., I had to attend prayer sessions and spiritual strengthening. I accepted, partly out of respect, partly to please my mother. The first weeks went normally. Well, almost. From the beginning, something unsettled me, something I couldn't name. This priest had a way of looking at me that wasn't that of a simple spiritual guide, a gaze too insistent, too lingering. Sometimes he praised me for trivial things, the way I read, the way I sang, even the way I sat. He said I had a rare light, a natural charm. His words made me uncomfortable, but I thought they were just benevolent compliments. He also asked strange questions, cleverly disguised. Do you often feel lonely? Do you trust easily? Do you open up to someone in particular? What kind of man makes you feel comfortable? I answered without really understanding what he was aiming at. I was naive, innocent. I didn't see anything coming. Sometimes he made sure I stayed longer than the others. Stay a little, I'd like to talk to you, just a few minutes. Those few minutes often turned into more than an hour. He talked to me about my life, my fears, my doubts. He told me I was special, that God had a particular plan for me. His words troubled me. His tone was gentle, almost hypnotic. One day, while the other youths were still in the parish hall, he whispered to me, "You are truly beautiful when you're focused. Very few people have that aura." I remember blushing like a child. I felt flattered. I didn't understand. Then came those gestures that seemed accidental. His hand brushing mine when giving me a book, his arm passing a little too close to my shoulders, his eyes dropping toward my chest before quickly returning upward as if in silent prayer. All of that escaped me. I didn't know I was being tamed, prepared, conditioned. Then one day he asked my mother for permission for me to attend a night prayer vigil with other youths. My mother immediately agreed. I was hesitant. I didn't like the idea of spending an entire night at the parish, but my mother insisted. I eventually gave in. I arrived at 5:15 p.m. He welcomed me with a big smile. Strangely, I was the first one to arrive. "Where are the others?" I asked. "You're just a little early," he replied. I found it odd. My mother told me it started at 5 p.m. "It must be a misunderstanding," he answered. Then he added, "Since we have some time, come, let's talk." I sat in his office. That's where everything changed. He began talking softly, as always, about my life, my doubts, my fears. His voice was calm, reassuring. Slowly, he moved closer. I didn't even notice. My heart beat a little faster, but I didn't know why. Then suddenly, he took my hand. "You are really beautiful," he murmured. I froze. I didn't understand. I thought it was a compliment. A strange one, yes, but nothing more. His knee touched mine. His hand slid onto my thigh. I didn't move. I didn't scream. I didn't know how to react. I was paralyzed, hypnotized. Then his lips touched mine. No man had ever kissed me. No one had ever touched me that way. I was pure, innocent, a virgin. I had never shared my intimacy with anyone. It was something I'd always kept for my future husband. But that night, in that secret room of the parish, I lost it. That part of me that belonged only to me. He lifted me like a child and laid me on his bed. And what was bound to happen, happened. The sheets were stained with blood, my proof, my purity, my innocence. He came back to me again and again until morning, and I let it happen, lost, disoriented, broken without knowing it. At dawn, I understood. There had never been a prayer vigil. No youth group was expected. It was a trap, a carefully orchestrated ambush. But the worst part is that I fell in love with him. I returned to the parish every evening. I lied to my mother, telling her I wanted to pray more. She was amazed, convinced that God had touched me. In reality, it was him who touched me. Our relationship lasted for months, in the shadows, in secret, behind the mask of holiness. Then one day, everything changed. He began to avoid me, to dodge me, to tell his guards he was busy. He changed his number, traveled without telling me. I no longer existed. During Mass, I could only see him from afar. He didn't give me a single look, not a gesture, not a word. That's when I understood. I had been used, discarded, like a simple object. I cried all the tears in my body for days, weeks, months. I felt betrayed, stained, destroyed. From one day to the next, I stopped going to church. My mother didn't understand. I resented her, even though it wasn't her fault. She had handed me over, unknowingly, into the wolf's jaws. Turning the page was impossible. Healing was impossible as long as I stayed in that city. So I packed my bags. I left. I changed my life, changed cities, changed religious communities, not to flee God, but to flee the institution that allowed a predator to thrive. I prayed every day for God to cleanse my soul of the stain I hadn't chosen. I learned it wasn't my fault. I refused to live in shame. I decided to rebuild myself. And God placed a good man on my path, a respectful man, a man who loved me without breaking me. We had 4 wonderful children. And today, I speak, I warn, I protect. Because I know that monsters don't always have frightening faces. Sometimes, they wear white robes and reassuring smiles. If you listen to my story until the end, remember this: faith should never blind you. Trust must always walk hand in hand with caution. Protect your daughters. Listen to their silence and share this story to open other people's eyes.